now, and we're about to hop in to the real championship rounds. It's game number 4 of this best of 5 as we witness CDEC Youth going up against Team NewBee. NewBee are now up 2-1 in this series and are just 1 win away from securing the last spot at the MDL LAN, which is coming up pretty damn soon. Coddle Guy going to be bringing you the English coverage for this Chinese qualifier, and I'm not doing it alone. Tagging by my side along the whole way has been Blaze, at least when he's not dropping out, of course. Blaze, welcome back, my friend. I know you're trying your best to at least watch the games. I do appreciate that when you do have these occasional little hiccups, which I can understand. The back end of game number 3, though, I'm not sure what was going on with CDEC Youth and that they kind of read the game out a bit weird. NewBee were in the Roche pit, and then once they realized that the Roche was being done, they tried to bolt back to base without TPs, and they got cut off in the game. Well, it ended a lot sooner than it probably should have.
Definitely. It's really hard in those situations to just keep track of every potential thing that the opposition can be doing, and we saw that
Dire team pick.
I can't. Blaze said that when he crashed out last time. I was a real professional about it, but I am not a professional now. All right, so Blaze might have crashed again mid-sentence. I feel bad for him. I'm sure he'll make it back, but let's talk about the actual draft here. Maybe he's still gone. Okay. Outworld Devour, Vengeful Spirit is the 1-2 coming out. On the side of NewBee, they're going to be picking up the Faceless Void. It's also worthy to quickly note Earth Spirit is still in the pool. Blaze, what do you think about that? Oh, the noise. All right, Blaze, I hope. All right, I don't know if you're actually there, but from my perspective, every time you talk, it does like this blah, 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 over and over and over again. Yeah, I assumed he either crashed or something. Okay, I'm having way too much fun with this. Zeus is going to be the choice, and it has been the staple for a lot of these teams for a while now. The support Zeus. That's one of the things I'm most excited about, because I feel like the Western CDEC Dota always finds a great way to punish a support Zeus, but I never see any of these support Zeus really get punished about it. Maybe end up being slightly ineffective, but overall just not really able to be shut down. So here we're going to see the Zeus Faceless Void combo once more, this time coming out from the side of NewBee. And I want to say the last time they did end up running this Faceless Void, when was it? Man, it must have been a while ago. Did they pull it out in just this series? Let's refresh this bad boy up a bit. Blaze, do you know? Okay, Blaze is not there, and I don't even get the fun Blaze either. I'm just kidding. Faceless Void, no, it has not been ran in recent history, it looks like, here from NewBee. I'm gonna have to give it a 3 times over here to make sure. No. Yeah, I thought that was a bit peculiar. Not one for a team to really pick it up often. Now, not to say that they might have ran it a couple times, of course, in scrim play here, but we'll have to see. Again. Hello? Oh, hi, welcome back, Blaze. Did you hear that?
It's just one of those mornings, dude. I don't know.
It's not like you might have had a lot of coffee this morning getting hyped up for this grand final or something, but glad to have you back here. NewBee get their first pick. It's a Faceless Void, but as I looked over the recent history, man, they have not been playing it a lot. So I want to know your thoughts on NewBee finally taking it, or does it even matter? It's a Faceless Void. I'm sure most players know what they got to do with it. Or do you think that this is going to be interesting to see their take on it?
Well, everybody plays the Void a little bit differently. I think the biggest thing that's changed for the hero is really his laning stage, how to trade hits with time walk through using the 2-second backtrack as a way to sustain yourself, and not only as an escape, but also to actually bully your way into the lane against maybe a solo support. There's a lot of value there. Against Venge Oracle, you should be okay. It depends on the third hero, obviously. If the carry can bring some good lockdown, then maybe you're in trouble. But otherwise, we're just kind of looking at that mid-game, and the big thing is the Void just has to remember that he can't solo kill. Even with a Zeus ulti, it's unlikely to get a solo kill on anybody but the lowliest of supports.
looks like we're going to be seeing a couple of firsts for today at least. The Oracle finally does come out, but it's not like an Oracle to respond to, you know, a Dark Seer or Ember Spirit or anything. It's the one time we get to see neither hero that it finally decides to show up. And I think I said this once earlier today, but for every Oracle that's shown up, I got to say I have not been really impressed by it so far. But, you know, it could be a bit of a changer here. I guess it also does a nice job preventing certain picks. You know, normally something like a Bat Rider, but NewBee have already committed for this Faceless Void. Now, don't get me wrong, Oracle's able to contribute a lot, you know, outside from the bubble, and typically someone who does pick up something like an Aether Lens, he can get an easy save with a False Promise. Hell, he might even be able to Fate's Edict the Faceless Void so he can't even do anything under the Chrono. But it's just interesting to see him come out now when, you know, you're not seeing those other heroes like Darkseer. And then Gyrocopter finally going to be showing up. So, that'll be nice.
Dire team ban.
Should be interesting to see how it pans out. The two in 6.85, the two top tier carriers for the patch were the Juggernaut and the Gyrocopter. We've still seen a lot of them in 6.86, but in these matchups in particular, we've seen Juggernaut fall pretty hard. Not really that interesting. Not really that consistently picked. They are looking for playmakers that can get involved, but that are probably less predictable than the Juggernaut. And so they've been going with different things. The Ember Spirit, of course, is the natural one. The Tiny and OD had some pretty interesting things to offer. But CDEC Youth, they go back to what has been one of the most consistent heroes of the past two patches. Ame, Juggernaut, June Tide. These are very comfortable picks for them. And it just comes down to the support play in my mind. Like, I feel like the Tide, Juggernaut, OD, you can't go wrong. You're going to have a lot of potential value. The real question is whether the Venge Oracle can be both offensive and defensive on the level that they need to. Finding the kill opportunities early to generate some momentum, but also being able to respond to every Chrono with either a False Promise or a swap.
5 seconds remaining.
It's a lot of pressure on him. Look at these couple picks coming out now. Juggernaut, but Chaos Knight. Now, I would be like, oh, Chaos Knight, this seems pretty damn crazy, but we've already seen NewBee pull this out once not long ago. What was that matchup? Were you casting with me? Yeah. No, I was casting, but you caught the back end of that match. I don't know if it was like a game 3 of a solo cast I was doing. It was the Chaos Knight Ursa combo that had come out. But going back to the Chaos Knight again, not tag teaming with the Wisp, don't you feel like it's a bit anti-synergetic with a Faceless Void Chrono? What is the Chaos Knight doing here? Why here? Why now for NewBee?
You bring an honest question that I think is very hard to really penetrate. The fact is, Tidehunter Anchor Smash is really good against DK's illusions. If there's a Battle Fury in play, the Juggernaut can manage them decently well. But overall, I think it's just the fact that the CK illusions will live throughout everything. They might be kiteed a little bit, they might be having their damage mitigated, but all in all, they're going to stay in play. They're going to keep critting. They're going to keep applying negative armor. And on top of that, I think it's something that they feel they can win the mid matchup with. If they have the Lina roaming in and creating havoc against the OD, it's really like they want to shut down Inflame early, is what this draft tells me.
Oh, we had to wait a couple of games for it here, Blaze, but here it comes, the mighty 5-man smoke coming out from CDEC.
Plus, and the one-man litter, leaving behind his trash here, the shared tango. What's that about, man?
And this Bloodseeker's like, I guess I'll take it. Very awkward. But they're like, we can't go back. We've already committed for the smoke. We must move forward. And time is of the... Oh, God, that was so close. The smoke pops, but they're like, oh, they're got to be up, right? Go north. Wait, they're not north. They must have been south. Go back south.
Oh, no, prison.
And Hal is unfortunately still hanging around. It took a couple of games. He didn't think that there'd be another 5-man movement, but there is now, and they are going to get Hal down. Dark Rye going to be picking up the last hit on that one, but CDEC Youth walk away with the first blood.
Very solid. Of course, we're going to see the boundary runes traded evenly, but that first blood definitely makes the smoke movement worth it. They get their ward down, and they're going to start looking to generate pressure. It's going to be an aggressive stance from CDEC Youth as Ame and Icy, the Venge, the Jug. They're going to be taking the bottom lane. Let's see Oracle moving around wherever he feels he can be most useful. And he's even looking to drop an even deeper ward here. Can he actually get this off?
He got it.
Oh, my. That is not seen by the Radiant as far as I can tell, and that is going to be a really good high ground ward for making sure the ganks work out.
And I like that he, pulls it away from the edge. It's not going to be easily countered by any sort of mid-river sentry, so this ward is there to stay, and I'm sure that this mid lane June Tidehunter is going to be happy about it. So the move versus June Tidehunter mid lane, a classic, if you will, Blaze. This is
Very common.
quite the fun game number 4 already coming out here. I'm happy to see the teams are not going to be afraid to kind of pull out something a bit crafty, even if it is a elimination or game-winning potential match. So it looks like Anchor Smash is coming out.
Dakota,
He's going to be fine.
I'm sure that you have a lot of experience with this Chaos Knight versus Tidehunter matchup. We see it plenty of times in the mid, but specifically in like the pub breakdown here. It obviously Lina support lends a little bit of hand to the CK, but what is June going to do to pull back? Oh god, he might just go. No, it's only 1 second stun. That actually could have gotten a little dicey there, but it's going to be Icy to look to turn it and turn it into a 2v2, but has to watch out for himself as much as his ally.
All right, well, June almost was in trouble there. Had that been an unforgiving stun, it could have been quickly him falling down. But I suppose he just has to bank on getting off casual anchor smashes, whether it be for last hit and plus some mild harassment, but also more defensively to avoid the extra bit of trouble. It seems like he's quick to respond if he is in trouble, to have an ally in need show up, like we saw that Vengeful Spirit. But now that TP has been expended, I wonder if NewBee are going to continue to kind of go on the aggressive against this Tide. But fortunately for him, he makes the first move towards the 2-minute rune. Oh, he's going to get sucked back by Moo, but what Moo doesn't know is Icy was already there. They're going to grab at the rune. And, unfortunately for Lei, the LSA will be a swing and a miss. I don't know, to be honest with you, even in my pubs I don't see this every day, so this is just
No.
quite the crafty matchup one-on-one.
And you'll notice that NewBee did not really expect the lanes that they were given. They had the Faceless Void up top. Jotule is just trying to get something out of that matchup, but instead he sees an OD. Instead of a Juggernaut Venge or something, he sees an OD. And so they actually make a full lane swap where Hao goes up, then Chuan gradually moves his way up to support him. So it's going to turn into a 2-2-1 setting for NewBee, where the Void is just going to be going up against the Oracle Jug, as he had hoped, and then we're going to see the Gyrocopter actually putting more direct pressure on Inflame.
So who do you think overall it benefits then in the laning stage, having to make such quick adjustments here? And it's not just from one side, it's both having to work with it now. Do you think that this Jug is going to be able to get more done in just a solo matchup against this Faceless Void? Or is it nicer for the Faceless Void because he doesn't have to worry about too much? He has Time Walk now. I mean, I don't think an Oracle and Jug are nearly going to have enough to stop him from getting away. I mean, I know Fortune's End is going to lock him in place, but it's not going to stun him or stop him from being able to Time Walk. And I feel like the Faceless Void's going to be happy for now. So, I don't know. I mean, it ends up being a win-win for both sides, but is it better for NewBee to let the Jug farm, or are they just satisfied with the fact that the Faceless Void is going to get what he needs and be able to come online sooner?
They're definitely getting the lanes they want now. It's just they had, unfortunately, the late transition, which cost them a little bit of time, a little bit of TP aspect. But they really want to pressure Inflame in this early stage more than the Juggernaut, and they might just get a kill on him for the second blood.
Using those crafty little paths in the trees, Lei sneaks out from behind, and they're going to be catching this OD in a bit of a jam. And Icy, of course, was working with the pull, and even if he was there...
Wow, Jotule's bringing Ame very low, too. He's going to have to pop a healing salve. Like, if they rotate supports to help Inflame, Ame is left in a matchup that's right now slightly favoring the Void. He's got, like, the double Fairy Fire, he's going to have the Poor Man's Shield to trade with. Like, he's actually doing really well here.
Yeah. And a Blade Fury will be committed here. Ame will look to get in the extra bit of damage. But yeah, he'll just quickly pop up the salve. He's not going to be going too far from this one. Top lane, contention on the pull camp here. Looked like they were going pretty damn deep. Darkrai's shown up now, and he's got the Invis rune. And they will be seeing the Lina step out, so they know there's only two here. They know they have the advantage in numbers here, Blaze, so they're going to be making a move in. Magic Missile, Purifying Flames. There's the Fortune's End, and that's going to be the kill. Onto the Gyrocopter. Chuan's even looking to creep out. Do they have any way to stop him? Astral is going to be a bit too far, and obviously Fortune's End is on cooldown, so they're not going to be able to get the catch. But nonetheless, nice rotation. We've been seeing it all series long. Hell, we've been seeing it all qualifier long, Blaze. Darkrai, he's a man who knows how to move and make objectives happen on this support play.
Absolutely, and they're just kind of having to have those dynamic lanes because every lane is kind of in equilibrium right now. The Void is trading with the Juggernaut, and if now that he has rank 3 Time Walk, I think Ame can't really do anything to him because the spin is completely nullified. So it's just going to be too late trading hits and trying to out-sustain Ame. which means that lane is definitely something that the supports can contribute to. And then, actually, mid, June is the one they go on the hardest.
They rift him back. He's going to be pulling out the Ravage now. They think they can make a go on a move, but Moo's going to be popping the wand. Now Tule shows up. He looks to move in. He's level 5, though, so no Chronosphere, but it doesn't matter. His participation is going to earn them a takedown, at least on the Vengeful Spirit. It cost them a couple of rotations, but nonetheless, they will at least get the kill. All set up, of course, from the rift onto June here. Plus, a Ravage going to be expended for that one, so another notch towards the way of NewBee.
And it's just about staying one step ahead of your opponents, and we do see a really good response coming out. Not often you get to see a Void rotate prior to level 6, but he's definitely able to contribute in a big way there with the jump time dilation. So overall, they reset the lanes again. Now Tule is facing Inflame once more, but he's already past level 5.5, and the Gyrocopter is now going to get free farm.
Saw that one coming.
Inflame going to be pretty satisfied with this matchup now. How more so? Full bottom lane to work with here. He's finally getting his level 6 now, and we'll have call down, but because he kind of just showed up here, Blaze, I mean, is it worth it to take the time to kind of farm up? And I was going to say, as opposed to getting more proactive with the call down, but it looks like he's been reading the situation. I don't know if it's been communicated or something, he saw it himself, but there's a 2-man smoke rotation here to the bottom lane.
And they see it now. That's great.
Yeah, now they have that vision as the smoke is popped, and Gyro could not hide any deeper behind the tower here. Really doesn't want to make any risks here.
Yep, they're going to keep on going on mid, which I find quite intriguing, because now that the Chrono's up, I feel like there's some really good kill potential on the OD if they make a smoke play or a TP play up top. So I would say that that's where NewBee want to make the next jump, and I figured CDEC would look to block that, but we're seeing things work out very differently. And it's just going to be Icy that gets caught out by a smoke. She'll get a ward pretty deep, I guess, or she'll try to. And then she will be definitely going down here.
Come on. Okay. Nah, maybe she's got slippery feet. Next level juke plays? We'll see. And no, rifted right back to death. Okay. Well, didn't get the ward down. Obviously was on close watch, so any sort of ward to drop would be soon to be taken away. But sometimes as a support, you got to commit deep. I mean, it's one of those high risk, high reward plays as a support. You go in, maybe you don't know that the enemy is going to be there, but if you can walk away with a very deep ward, you know that you're going to get some serious valuable intel for the next few minutes that could get you the next big fight. But in this case, it looks like a casual support feed. But now with smoke moving out from NewBee, they're looking to head to the top lane, heeding your advice here, Blaze, on getting a setup for the OD. Let's see if they can do it.
It should be no trouble at all. He's so far away from the tower, there's no TP support coming in. It should be a free kill.
Pull him right back. He will get the self-astral off, and now we're seeing a array of TPs come out from the side of CDEC, but unfortunately, this Inflame OD is just way too far from the tower, and they're not going to be able to be close enough to assist him, so it leads to a nice core takedown. And NewBee will begin to scavenge the area right now, if not transition this into a tier 1 push. So couple of picks going their way right now as they advance their lead 4-2. We take a pretty damn early look at the net worth, and you can see the advancement that CDEC Youth did have at the start of the game has been quickly taken away, and is starting to etch the favor of NewBee in both gold and XP.
Top tower is under attack.
So we're in an interesting position where Moo is kind of focusing on ganking, and it's actually Chuan that's focusing on farming to an extent. So I guess he wants to get probably pretty early Ether Lens out for himself. Just going for the null tally for now. Could have be a couple of different items, but for right now, I think that he's just kind of building himself up to be able to participate in the fights in a major way. We're actually going to see Inflame. No, I can't get too close to him. And Boo could actually counteract that pretty effectively if he can just get the jump in.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't do it right there. I thought if Moo was close enough, but it looks like he had been farming on the jungle on the side. He could end up getting rifted right under the tower, and the burst potential would be there, and the backup would not for CDEC. So this, I know, has frustrated Inflame maybe by being taken down. If he does overstretch his boundaries here and going for Chuan, he could end up in a world of hurt. While top lane, they're also maybe thinking about making a creep play here onto Tule. We have both Darkrai and Icy here hanging out behind the Tidehunter, who has Ravage at the ready, but it looks like they might be considering taking their business elsewhere.
I'm really not sure what Icy and Darkrai are doing for the past like 3 minutes. Yeah. They don't have any kill potential against the Void. They didn't stop the death of the OD. We're going to see Juggernaut instead actually get picked up bottom. Like, they just they're not responding to where they need to be. It seems like they just want to stack and pull and get level 6 where they can start being useful again. They're kind of in a weird little, I don't know, purgatory, I guess. I don't know.
But the thing is like when they get to the level 6 and they get those spells where they can feel useful, is all that usefulness more for
Dire's
defensive
bottom tower
purposes,
is under
or
attack.
can they make that work offensively? I mean, I guess by that point Darkrai will have like what she has now, like 3 levels into Purifying Flames, which can be a deceptively amount of bursting magic damage when you can get 3 of them off within a blink of an eye. And you know, I guess you can set up a
Dire's
swap even though the
bottom
range is so
tower is under
small.
attack.
It just naturally it feels like CDEC support potential only works to their
Dire's
better
bottom
defensively.
tower
I mean, I
has
guess
fallen.
if they're able to make big compact plays because of the swap saves or because of the false promise saves, it'll work to their better. But here they go for a hopeful setup. It's June and Darkrai and company. They're going to be committing the Ravage here. Fortune's End. They get some Purifying Flames. There's the second Flames, and that will be enough to take down the CK. This journey started at the top of the map here, Blaze, and we just followed their journey all the way to the bottom to finally get 1 kill on the
Dire's middle
CK.
tower is under attack.
No, it's still something that they need. Darkrai's going to have level 6 off of that. You really can't underestimate the potential of Healing Ward plus False Promise. Like, the amount of healing you get out of that is insane. So it's definitely going to be very important that the Oracle can get his levels up. Like you said, I think I might have cut out, obviously, at the beginning of the draft. Oh, they're just going to chrono him.
Chrono, Laguna, Fortune's End, hoping to kind of nullify all the magical damage, but it doesn't matter. He turns off, gets one last gush, but it's his final breath, and they'll turn back and away. But look who is hiding out behind the tower. It's Icy, potentially scouted out, and it looks like NewBee are considering a dive in. Tule at least will go in. He has the time walk to make it out from any sort of pickle. Meanwhile, though, Darkrai, long full charge up from the Fortune's End. The second it does hit, Lay goes right for the TP, will make it back and away, and Tule will try to time walk out, gets his life back, but goes right into an Astral, where Hao's going to show up, and he has called out ready, so CDEC are like, yeah, never mind, we'll let you go. He step back and away.
Yep, so kind of just a stalemate there, not really too much coming out of it, but I will say that time dilation is going to be really effective this game. Like, there are a lot of heroes that are very reliant on their cooldowns, timing, and the supports in the OD are going to be very frustrated by that ability. Overall, though, I think one really big timing that we're going to be seeing is when Chuan finishes the Veil of Discord and the Gyrocopter is hitting like level 11, I guess, around that time. You could see some massive magic damage coming up between the Zeus, the Lina, the Gyrocopter. There's lots of teamfight potential that even a Mechanism Untied won't nullify.
Yeah, Mech Untied will not be enough. I mean, they do have some other small tools. A casual Fate's Edict might be able to nerf up some of that magical damage, plus, what is it, the Blade Fury? But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's still just going to be an overwhelming amount, and there's, you know, if you only have supports that are able to aid one person in need, and you have a huge spread of what Gyrocopter offers plus the Zeus, you can't save everybody, so we'll see how good the paramedic team is going to be here for CDEC Youth. And as top lane, rather, Hao's leading out the front while Chuan is trying to casually scout out maybe any sort of vision on the side. Darkrai continues to plant himself here. I don't think this is going to be enough firepower to take anyone down. In fact, more reinforcements are starting to come in now from the side of NewBee. This might end up being all hands on deck here, with the exception of the Jug, who's still there at the bottom, but they're going to make their move as soon as they do. The Jug is looking to rotate in. Chrono's already been committed. June looking to move forward, has the Ravage. Quickly, NewBee on the way back. They actually don't feel comfortable going into this fight now. They feel like the Chrono not utilized at least good enough for them. They pull off and avoid any sort of potential trouble from CDEC.
I don't really understand why Darkrai's not using his Purifying Flames to heal. Like, when he's got Fate's Edict already on somebody, it's only 70 mana. It's really cost effective.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the second time he's not bothered with
He's
that
got Arcades.
mechanic.
He's got the mana to just freely give it out.
Radiant's top
So
tower is under attack.
with you. Okay. Call down. Diagros. And Ame will eat a bit of damage. Oh, they get a Rift pull back onto him. Ward's still up, though. He'll get healed in. June intercepts, steps in with the big Ravage. Sand Clip's going to be coming out. Move. Dishes out the ultimate. Gets the extra illusion here, and June's going to be on the run. Fate's Edict to kind of nullify a bit of the damage now, and here comes the Rocket Barrage. Begins to get healed up. Darkrai right in front of him here. Still has not much to offer. Holding onto that false promise just in case. Not really necessary at this point. And look at that Ame. Quick Omni Slash here to avoid the stun coming out from Moo, but Now they're on the retreat back. June a lot of damage in. Oh, False Promise is going to get off on the June. Keeps him alive and well. Goes back in for the fight. Inflame eating a lot of the damage. He's going to be going down. Moo barely kept it alive. False Promise not going to be healed and ends up beating too much damage. Will get popped there at the end. Darkrai going to be going down in a triple kill. Comes out for Hal on the Gyrocopter. NewBee already up 2 games. Take down 3. Got to be feeling pretty damn good now as they move on in and will secure a tier 1 tower in the top.
And that entire team fight with that Chronosphere, I'm not exactly sure where the Chrono was wasted, but about 15 seconds before that fight, maybe they used it on like an illusion or something, because it was not involved in that engagement whatsoever. And it's CDEC to lose, nevertheless. The heroes, the tower, it's actually going to become a very hard game from here if they can't learn to execute their timings, their abilities a little bit better.
Yeah, I believe it was still the Chrono from when they first were peeking in, just before the Jug TP to the top lane. He got the Chrono off, it caught just the Tide, and that's it. And once they saw it wasn't going to lead to much, they ended up pulling back. And I guess with CDEC having already all 5 of the top lane, knowing Chrono was down, they each other out with the LSA, it looks like, and it pays off as they are going to be able to take down June. And now they look to go for the tier 1, but as that happens, Tule makes a jump for Darkrai with the help of the Chrono, and the Oracle will be going down. Also the tier 1, now back at mid lane. Suddenly this is beginning to go better and better for Team NewBee. Nowhere is safe here for CDEC. I mean, the supports are strictly on all defensive duty. There's really no offensive potential, I feel, coming out for CDEC at this point in time.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah, it's getting very awkward very quickly, and it just seems like this kind of all-in core lineup of NewBee is going to be enough to crush CDEC at this stage in the game, and they're not going to be able to deal with any items that come out on top of this. Like the Gyrocopter, S and Y is going to be able to allow him to just move in really quickly and do massive damage with the flak, and then he'll go BKB right after that, or he might just go Yasha BKB, and that's even harder for their team to deal with.
Oh,
Inflame
no!
getting caught by the Chaos Bolt.
And it just continues now to go from what feels like bad to worse here for CDEC. This Inflame OD just trying to casually farm out this top lane quickly goes down, but here's CDEC. They're going to smoke up. Heading right towards the bottom lane. They got Jug his level 11. So Omni Slash pretty damn big. They're going to go right into the pit, it looks like, here, with the benefit of Icy and his wave. Plus Darkrai's Fate's Edict is actually pretty damn good on Roche. Doesn't seem like he wants to use it, though, but it's pretty good, I tell you. Oh, no, they've been spotted out from Zeus. They mech up and they say, okay, we're done. And they walk away.
That's where the Metal Gear Solid exclamation point pops up.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, okay. Well, now we gotta just go back to farming, and I don't know. I feel like as soon as Gyrocopter picks up his BKB, CK can work towards 1-2. There's no reason not to just start snowballing the advantage by just all going BKBs. I mean, obviously the Delina goes Eggs. The Void probably wants his Blink Dagger. But CK and Gyro can just go BKBs right now, and they can look to just completely dominate the map.
We'll see if they decide to go for it here. We're seeing a lot of gold. Held in reserve for now. Tule sporting about 1,400 of that. Hal's on the verge of clearing out his BKB. We look.
Never mind. Here goes the opposite.
Moo Midas coming out right now.
I'm not a fan of that at all.
I think he got this last time too, if I'm not mistaken. He got it a bit sooner.
Yeah.
He did get it that game. He got it after his drums, but he still committed for it. I guess just wants to be ever so scaling into the late game, I guess. Alright, my camera is totally fucked, so I'm trying to get it over here. And they do see Ame under the Chronosphere. Blade Fury spinning on through, but it ain't going to matter. Another kill going the way. This one again to Chuan. This guy seems to be a KS Lord here, but nonetheless, his Zeus, pretty damn mighty in this one. Veil already complete. Looks to be building towards the Yules now. Everything on the up and up right now for Team NewBee. And Moose says, I'm putting that Midas to work, baby. Riffs him on in and looks to chunk down Darkrai. He puts the Edict on himself, though. Just gets right-clicked down. Chuan still stole that one. Somehow the back end of the Edict, I guess, expires and he gets killed by the bolt. Now June. Oh, stun goes, but I guess it was a mosquito bite there for June. And they'll be able to make it away. But another takedown. This comes after the takedown of Jug. They get an Oracle kill.
tower is under attack.
Oh. Very good for NewBee, and now they're going to be ones to go in the pit and claim the Aegis for them.
So this is going to be a very easy rush for the side of NewBee. Nothing really CDEC can do without the Blink Dagger on June, even if they know this is just completely in NewBee's favor, and it's just one more step towards victory here for them. They are large and in charge. 20 minutes into this game, they have just such a dramatic net worth advantage of 11,000, and this Roche could just signal what could be the victory for them.
Unless a YOLO play does come out from CDEC Youth as they roll in with the Ravage. House easily able to shrug it off with the BKB, and just as fast as the mighty Watermelon walks in, he is diced up and put into a fruit platter. How eats a lot of damage from the Omni Slash. He's going to be forced back, but it's Chuan now who's able to step forward from the back lines and just easily annihilate a couple. Gets himself a monster kill. Now godlike on his Zeus. Man, my goodness, a double kill for him. They take out 3 and they're like, all right, gentlemen, back to work. And they get right back to this Roche. Blaze, I'm feeling like this grand final could come to a quick conclusion here if NewBee are able to just close out this game 4. They just secured their spot at MDL.
Absolutely, and they are hungry for it. I mean, getting the chance to go on LAN against, of course, all the amazing Chinese teams, LGD, VCE home, they definitely need more experience against them, but just in preparation for the Shanghai Major, you want that experience on LAN, and it's just so much more important for them than anything else. I mean, we have seen some great improvement of the team under Chuan's, I wouldn't say leadership, but assistance, and I feel like they have that much more room to grow if they can go onto the LAN setting with all 5. And yeah, I think that there's a lot of potential for NewBee to bring a strong showing to it. Maybe not take MDL, but learn a hell of a lot from it.
And I'm sure they want to play on their own home court. I'm sure any other team would love to do that. And it's with it just being, I'm sure, a trip down the street. It's probably not that close. But nonetheless, not that far of a trip where some of these big lands, especially for a lot of these Chinese teams, and require them traveling across the seas to like Seattle, let's say, or even Frankfurt for them. It's nice to be able to go to a huge event like this one in your backyard. So they want to be there.
And another thing to keep in mind is the last MDL season actually had a top 3 Western showing. Vici Gaming took 4th in that, and the top 3 teams were actually from the West. So that probably was a bit of a pride breaker. That definitely brought some embarrassment. And of course, the country, China in general, like their culture is all about really just nationalism. There's a lot of it, and Laguna down, no chance at all.
Yeah,
but yeah,
quick.
I feel like to be a representative of China in this MDL means a lot more because of the fact that they got trounced in the last time that the West showed up to play ball. So hopefully we'll see a strong Eastern showing, and maybe NewBee can be a big part of that.
And I have to say, this is, at least from my new point of view, the best NewBee I've been seeing since their times at TI4. We'll have to see if they're going to be able to match up to those old glory days or be able to make a new addition. Here with Chuan by their side. Now they're making their advancement here. The Mighty Horsemen are out. He's got 3 of them at the ready, and they're going to be going into this Tier 3. CDEC Youth facing elimination now in MDL. They got to pull out a hell of a defense if they want to be staying alive here. What are they going to do? Tier 3 already down, and June gets sucked right into the battle. He's going to be forced to make a swap. Actually cancels out what he thought was going to have to be his all-or-nothing Ravage, but Icy might have just handed over his own life. Another Laguna going to be coming out to finish out. And look at this. This Chrono actually zones back the Tidehunter back into his fountain, plus catches Ame here. Ame dishes out his Omni Slash, hoping to get a finish here. Gets a lucky one. It's going to be just the Aegis, though, of the Gyrocopter. Move force back his CK very, very low, but they're not going to be able to get a hold of him. They turn it right back around. They're going to be taking down the Tide, and they're going to be taking the game. NewBee have just done it. They have secured their trip to MDL. Congratulations to them as they take over and take down CDEC Youth 3-1.
Really strong showing from NewBee, and as you pointed out, it seems like they are back in form, at least a lot better off than they've been over the past year or so. So bringing in Chuan, even like their 3rd game into having Chuan on their roster, their 3rd official. I already was saying this team has a lot more potential than what we saw from them previously, and we're seeing it. Zeus actually goes 11-0-9, the KS King Chuan, but just across the board, NewBee brought a lot to this tournament, a lot of really good things, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring on a LAN.
Also can't help but, of course, give props to CDEC Youth for their admirable run. And I really do look forward to seeing some of these youthful rosters making names for themselves. I know these names I will not forget. In particular, Ame for his amazing core play. And I was already well aware, of course, Inflame in June and such. But even like Dark Rai and his early support aggression. Like these are notable performances that I hope that they're going to be walking away with this with their heads held high. It was a great run for CDEC Youth, and especially when they're able to do so much better than their other CDEC brethren. I'm very curious to see what's in store for them in the future. But again, congratulations to NewBee. With this win, they will advance on forward. And with my awesome technologies here, I'm just going to bring up the Liquipedia page, and we can see the full team spread of what you're going to be seeing in a couple of days at the MDL LAN now. Going along with now Team NewBee, who have qualified in the Chinese qualifier, we have already invited Vici Gaming, OG, Evil Geniuses, LGD, eHome, and Team Secret, who have qualified along with NewBee out of the European qualifier. We have Team Spirit out of the American qualifier, Complexity, and then out of the C qualifier, it is Mineski. So it's going to be one hell of a time. $250,000 of prize money is up for grabs. And as I already said to the beginning of this series, I cannot wait to see all these metas from all these different regions come back together once more, and we'll see which team has figured out the patch the best so far. With that said, we're going to be wrapping things up. Blaze, before I let you go, is there any last shout-outs or anything you want to say before we kind of, wrap things up?
Well, shout out to my PC for letting me have one full game of Dota. That was appreciated. But beyond that, we've got all these tier 2 teams in China that I just have to give a huge shout out to. Either the franchises that are sponsoring them or just the teams themselves. We are seeing so much amazing growth in the Chinese scene as a result of these teams being in play. CDEC Youth and NewBee Young probably at the forefront, but there are so many B teams that are finally getting to show what they can accomplish. And I don't necessarily lump IG Vitality in with them because they were DKA and now they're kind of the secondary team for IG. But across the board, those, just because there's an extra letter attached to the CDEC isn't the CDEC that you know from TI4, TI5. It's still an amazing team of players, and I'm glad that they actually get to show off what they can accomplish and what they've been able to accomplish, eliminating some really big names in this tournament in particular. So really great to see China moving forward. Hopefully we can see some of that in the NA scene, just like the tier 2 scene rising up, getting some stability, maybe getting some extra sponsors, of course, would help with that. And we can see the scene as a whole grow. But of course, Cuddle Guy, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Blaze, thank you so much for dedicating so much time and stepping in with your solo cast and coming by my side and working through those computer troubles that I can certainly relate to. It's been a great casting with you. And for everyone else watching from home, it's been a pleasure bringing you the English coverage here. I always love diving into back into some more Chinese Dota, and I certainly have learned a lot as we move on forward for MDL and then the Shanghai Major. It's going to be certainly a treat to watch. Please enjoy the rest of your night. Best of luck in your Dota games, and we'll see you next time for more Dota action. Please take care.